Hello. Hanging out in the shower because I grew extremely frustrated. Trim my mustache. I was talking to an AI engine because I do that a lot when I don't know who else I'm supposed to talk to, you know? And we were having a discussion about specifically finding some way to live. You know, the other day I was going for a drive with my grandmother, and we drove past a chess school, right? And I was just like, wow, I didn't even know that they were there. You know, because like, in the past, I was just like, I had this idea. It was just like, okay, you know, I need to live a life where I'm doing the things that I wanted to do already, or doing the things that I already do. And I was just like, what if I become a chess instructor? You know, and I played with that idea. Because like, I've spent a lot of time learning how to play chess, and like, I'm reasonably good at it, not the best. But like, a couple days later, I drove past the school again, and I looked at it, and I thought to myself, alright, so, in this place, there's most likely someone who has played chess competitively. You know, they went to tournaments, maybe they grew up with chess, they have like bookshelves dedicated to like, you know, pawn theory and like whatever else, you know. And then there's me, who just started playing chess when The Queen's Gambit came out. And just like, in this chess school, I'm assuming that there's like someone, you know, with like decades of experience, who's barely getting by, you know, trying to have this chess school, and just like, they're not big enough to like, you know, have employees or have all this stuff. And you know, I tried to look through the window, and just like looking at the clutter in this place. Like, it might be nice on the inside, but like, looking on the outside, I'm just like, how nice could a place like this be? You know, not that matters, you know. But like, more than that, it's just like, okay, you know, like, I remember I sent an inquiry to like this chess school, you know, once before, not the same one, it was a different one. And I was just like, hey, you know, like, I'm so-and-so, and just like, I play chess, and like, this, that, and the other, and then just like, send us your resume. And then, I was just like, I didn't follow up with that at all, because I'm just like, send us a resume. I was like, why the fuck do you need a resume? What's that got to do with chess? You know? Then like, should them like, come down here, come play a game, you know? If you're any good, you know? If you know what you're talking about, if you can explain things, then sure, you know? Send us a resume. She's like, okay. Used to work at Dunkin' Donuts, used to work at Whole Foods, used to be an electrician. How does any of that have to do with chess? What the fuck you want a resume for? You know? And then, like, after I got over that idea, it was just like, okay, so if I were to go work for them, you know, I go over there and like, maybe it's, I show up and they give me a schedule, and it's just like, okay, between this time and this time, you're going to teach chess, you know, let's say it's an 8-hour shift. So 8 hours of like, sitting at a game board, maybe teaching a class, maybe teaching an individual, I don't even know, but like, the pay structures would be like different. You know, maybe it's just like driving to other people's houses and like, you know, staying in their house and just like, teaching them chess and stuff. And I'm just like, this isn't what I want with my life. Like, I don't want to go somewhere, spend 8 hours on a fucking chessboard and just like chess. That's exhausting, And then it's just like, how many, even if it was, but also, it's just like, okay, they convert me into an asset, a resource, So, like, they're just like, okay, we're going to pay you, I don't know, we'll say minimum wage, Because, like, that's what we have to do, right? Just like, we'll pay you $15 an hour to teach chess, Like, it's got to be comparable to, like, what they have at the piano school over here, Like, whatever. And they're just like, okay, we're going to charge the customer $45 an hour, but we're only going to, like, pay you 15 and make a profit off of you, Like, I don't know if that's actually what they're going to do, but it's a predictable business model, and that's what most places do anyway, charge for this, and just, like, they get their cut, you make pennies. And then it's just like one-on-one, right? If you did it on one-on-one, let's say that let's say that I'm just like an individual, I decided to start my own company and it's just like, I'm going to be the chess instructor and that's it, and I can get you up to, I don't know, some rating. But first of all, I'm going to say why I'm not going to do that. It's because, like, there are so many people that have already made online content. So many people that are superior to me. The master classes, and they're building content courses and stuff like that. Stuff that I learned from. Why do you need me to teach what they have already taught? You don't. You just need to go seek out, like, these resources. And there's so many free resources, You can go to the library and, like, rent a book. I haven't checked the library to see if they even have these books, but I'm just like, it's the library. They should, right? Go online and find PDFs of this book. Buy Levi Rosman's book. He's been, like, pushing that, It's just, like, so many people are building, like, apps and websites and, like, engine analysis and, like, things that are far superior to me in, like, every conceivable way. I am irrelevant. Right? But, like, aside from that, like, if I were a chess instructor, and it's not just chess, but it could also be art, it could also be piano, because these are the other things that I do, that I'm also just, like, not good enough, just not good enough, straight up, and, like, I don't want to hear anybody that's just like, oh, no, I am not good enough, straight up. Like, I'm not going to kid myself to think that I am. But aside from that, if I became a chess instructor, just thematically sticking with this one, and it's just like, I go on to, I don't know, Craigslist or something, and I start an ad, Just like, although nowadays, just like, everybody's go start a website, and just like, I have some programming experience, so I could probably build some website. But then it's, first of all, hosting. Where does it take place? My shitty apartment? Unfortunately, there's laws that say that you can't have, like, a business in your home. So I'm technically not allowed to do that. Now, rent a space? That seems like another way that the government's just like, yeah, we're going to force you to participate into our system and give us money. But, like, I just, like, go to their house and, host it there. But, like, we're not even getting into, like, tax forms and just, like, how the government ensures that they get their cut, Make sure that we pay for, senators' houses and representatives' houses and Trump's, new White House, whatever, golden statue, this, giant flagpole, that. Whatever. But I was a chess instructor, right? And just like, how much would I charge per lesson, right? How long would the lesson be? If it was one student to start, right? Gotta start somewhere. So if it's one student, it's just like, do I host at my apartment? Do I host at some other location? Do I host at their location? And if I host at their location, get up, drive where? Do I have to drive into the heart of Boston, which is somewhere I don't want to be? Do I have to drive like half hour this way, an hour that way, 45 minutes this way? Do I have scattered students? So I have to drive like all over the map? I don't like commuting. It's just like, I don't know if you realize, but like, I'm a nudist and don't even want to be dressed at all, and it's just like, that sounds like an awful lot of time, like being I don't like driving either. I like that I can drive, I like that I have a car, but like, I do not like being stuck in the car all fucking day. I feel like it's a waste of my fucking time, So it's just like, but after all of that, I have one student, right? And it's just like, if it's a one-on-one class, and we'll say that, like, I'm charging, we're just going to use the minimum wage right now, because, like, we're just going to stick with the minimum wage, because, like, I have a hard time saying, oh, yeah, you have to pay me $60 an hour to teach chess, in this modern world where, like, in my opinion, everybody's struggling and nobody's got the money, and it's just like, if you make $15 an hour, why am I going to charge you $60 an hour? Just like 15, 30, 45, 60, 4 hours of your time for 1 hour of my time? But let's continue, and it's just like, okay, that means I can only cater to people that are rich and wealthy, which means I only stick with rich and wealthy and target the rich and wealthy, and hang out with, like, people that I don't even want to hang out with, Science the point. But, like, has one student, we'll say it's $15 an hour. How many students do I need to acquire? How many students can I keep up with? How many different lessons plans? Because each person is different. Sure that there's going to be like standardized, like, oh, you need to learn this, oh, you need to learn that, whatever. And like, the whole concept that like many teachers and instructors need their students to be dependent on them. They need them to be recurring, can't find the word. But like, I need you to need me, Up until the point that like, some people will sabotage and just like, whatever. But like, that's extreme. It's just like, okay, so one student per hour, right? I'll say it's $15 per hour. That means that I can only make $15 per hour based on the math, right? Off one student. Which means, like, what am I going to do? Like, get 8 students back to back and, like, it's all going to work and just, like, I'm just like, oh, yeah, I have a time slot for, like, 7 p.m. And I'm just like, yeah, I can make that work. try to stay fully booked. Just like I feel like one-on-one instruction is critically important for like a lot of individuals, you know? Like I don't want to dismiss like one-on-one like instruction because it's just like, okay, you know, I'm gonna help you figure out your independent problems, you know? Aside from that, but it's just like, okay, one-on-one is not gonna work. It's not gonna get anybody, it's not gonna get me anywhere anyway. Like it might be like really helpful to that individual, but if I can only make $15 an hour off of that, just like I'm just gonna like remain in poverty, you know. I don't even think that I'm gonna break even. I think I'm still gonna be under. Like after that, it's just like, okay, then you have to do a group setting, so you can like get as many people as you can and try to pack the doors, you know, try to get like 50 people like in one room at one time type thing, so you can get like this many people per head, you know. And I feel like one-on-one instruction's gone, you know. Like there is merit to teaching in a group, but like once the group gets too big, you know, some people are going to struggle, you know. So it's just like, let's keep the group sizes like small, you know. And it's just like, still, you know, how many groups, how many hours, how many students. And it's just like, oh, well, people are already doing that, so it's possible. And after that, you know, after like, you know, you have in-person groups and stuff like that, it's just like, okay. Lots of people are wising up and they're just like, I can go digital, you know. I can do this remotely, you know. I can do this through a Zoom class, you know. And sure, that's fine. You know, that solves the, I don't have to like drive around town, you know, I don't have to go this, that, parking fees, you know, parking tickets, you know, traffic lights, traffic jams, bumper to bumper traffic, highways, waste of time, whatever, you know. That's more accessible to some people. But something about like, you know, in-person bonding, you know, actually meeting with people, actually getting to know people, you know, actually shaking their hand, you know. I feel like it's still important to like human nature. So if it's just like, okay, everything is just screens now and just like stay home, you know, talk to people on screens. And then like after that, it's just like, okay, you know, we need to build like an AI automated like system with like engine analysis that does like all the teaching, and I just like do the course material and then feed it to the AI bot and like, you know, make it so like I don't have to do anything anymore. I'm like so removed from it. Or all of these other people are starting like, you know, chess apps. I'm like, oh, you know, get chess mood. Oh, get Chessly. Oh, get Chessable. Oh, get, I don't even know, Russian chess school, something or other now. Make chess your life. And to be honest, dog, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't want to make chess my life, you know. I like chess, but like, not that much. Not to make it like, you know, my full, like, you know, eat, breathe, shit, sleep, die. But then, it's just like underneath that, you know, what is it that I want to, like, you know, pursue so aggressively like that? If there is anything that I want to pursue at all, you know? thinking about like, the whole digital aspect of it does make it like more convenient, does like get rid of like, the whole, driving to and fro, and it deals with, renting a space or whatever, but like human congregation and groups and like hanging out and like having a space, is important. It is, and like I can't speak for everybody, but like I feel like a lot of us are like isolated and just like don't have places to go. It's just like everything costs money. Not saying that this wouldn't. I mean, like my whole idea is like I want to like make somewhere that people don't have to pay. People can just like show up. People can hang out. It's not like this commercialized. Just like if I don't paint the walls this color, or if I don't do this or I don't do that, it's not going to lure people out. If I don't have signs, or just like thinking about you have to have like handicap, I'm not trying to dismiss the handicapped people. I'm not having handicap accessibility is important. Like I don't want to dismiss like anybody. I don't want to dismiss people because they're poor or broke or not that I'm anybody at all, just like this psycho fucking nudist. It's just like I can't go anywhere anyway. It's just like, yeah, you have to get dressed. Thinking about how AI is just like taking over, and it's just like you don't need me. The computer can play chess better than me, And now you have like these chess apps that can like give really detailed explanations as to moves and why the moves, and just like I don't have any intention of like getting hired to exclusively write a book. That's a side note. I'm just gonna go on it. I have no intention of like writing a book because like there are so many books that are written, and there are so many people in like higher positions, better positions, more knowledgeable on the subject that can and should write books. Can't tell you if the books are any good. Can't tell you if they even wrote the books, or if like someone else wrote them and they're just like, yeah, I'm gonna put my name on it. But I have a cynical like worldview, so like that doesn't help either. But then it's just like, back to what I was gonna say, is just like, I have no intention of like teaching rich kids chess, I don't. Some parents are just like got the money, because I would imagine that a lot of like poor folk don't have the money to pay for chess instruction. I mean, their kids got to like really love chess, but like even still, like all the online fucking material, you've got like all these opening videos, all these other people, you have like all these streamers that you can like watch and take note, and just like, oh, they did this, they did that, maybe I should try this. All the ways that I learn, other people can learn. I've never had a chess instructor, and like I got up to 1750, It's not 2,000, it's not 21,000, it's not master level, It's dropped. Time management's been a problem for me lately. At one point I thought, if I can just get my online, originally I was just like, if I can get my online rating to like, 2,100, people must be able to like take me seriously at some point, Maybe not like the Grandmasters or the Super GMs or like whatever, But like, generally speaking, if I can get like a CM title, a candidate master title, then like, I must be like legitimate, that must, be some sort of like like, certificate? No, not certificate, but achievement. But more, it like, gives me some credibility, you know? I'm just like, oh, you know, I'm credible because, like, I have a title. You know, whereas, like, someone that doesn't have a title is just like, yeah, you know. But at the same time, you don't need a degree to, like, learn how to do something well. It doesn't really matter. But still, you know, online rating is online rating. And it's just like if you're 2100, then you must be good at chess, type of thing, you know? But I was just like, you know, before I came to, like, all of these conclusions, it was just, like, trying to get my online rating to get, like, 2100, you know? It's just, like, I haven't gotten there yet. And then it's just like, oh, you know, you have to get your FIDE, specifically FIDE, rating to, like, 2100. I don't have a FIDE rating, you know? I've never played over the board tournaments, you know? I was looking into it a little while ago, and I was just like, you know, how does one do that? And I was just like, oh, well, if you pay someone else money, of course. Paying into someone's system, you know, they make money off of it. Whatever, you know? But, and then you have to participate in over-the-board tournaments, which involve getting dressed, going to tournaments that happen here, there, whatever. You know, I do not believe in myself. I don't think I'm good enough to, like, you know, make, like, money on these tournaments. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna, like, I don't know, take last place. Just like, that's not helpful thinking, dude. Okay, maybe not last place, you know, but, like, just, like, not any place that I would win any sort of prize money, you know? And, like,
Huh?
I was watching, I forget which tournament it was, but it was an important tournament, and I was watching Hikaru play against this 19-year-old, I forget his name. I think it was Jenny someone or other. And it was just like, this 19-year-old beat this number 2 in the world, Hikaru Nakamura. And I was just like, wow. Like, he's got it. I never had it. You know? And, like, once upon a time, I was just like, maybe I could try to become a grandmaster. But if people that I respect, like Levy Rosman and, like, Eric Rosen, they haven't gotten a GM title, and they are so good, and I learn from them. If they can't do it, what makes me think that I can do it, you know? Like, they don't believe in themselves, and, like, they've more or less, like, given up trying, just, like, and not to mention the amount of, like, work and dedication, just, like, eat, breathe, shit, chess, you know? It's just like, is that a level of dedication that I would aspire to? And it's just like, no, because, like, I've got other things that I'm doing, you know, art, piano, like, you know, programming, if you want to call it that. I only say that because, like, I've never done anything meaningful. I've never done anything meaningful in my goddamn life. But, like, specifically, you know, it's just like, I've, like, read a bunch of books on, like, programming, but I haven't done anything. I haven't built anything, you know? Okay, I tried to build a couple of different things, but, like, I've got nothing functional in the works that I can say, oh yeah, I built this, you know? And, like, I'm just gonna drop it there. I did have some stuff, but, like, I've lost it, so it doesn't even, like, count anymore. And then it's just like, okay, then don't try to make a living off of chess. Go wash dishes in a restaurant. Why? Because washing dishes in a restaurant seems to be super predictable. Like, if you sign up to be a dishwasher, you're just a dishwasher. It's not like, you sign up for one of these fucking Indeed roles where they're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna be like super sketchy with like what we want you to do, and we want you to be like 50 different things, and like, be able to like do all of our work and offload like our tasks, and you do manager tasks, even though it's just like, but whatever. I guess that's all I've got to really say on the subject right now. That's the reason that I don't think that I'm going to like pursue becoming any sort of like chess something or other. Just like the chess environment online, super saturated. I saw this kid online the other day. I don't know who he is. He just like showed up and just like just started, as far as I could tell. But like, now he's up to like 1,000 subs. Good for him. Honestly, good for him. He's doing it right. He's doing a good job with the thumbnails. He's I can't be bothered to do thumbnails. I don't want to do these like AI, like, generated whatever, just like niggas. Just like most of those faces are pretty much the same. Apparently I don't spend enough time making weird faces in the mirror. Just like stick that on the thumbnail. I just like spend the entire day just like making a random thumbnail. I had like one silly idea. It's just like, okay, what if for every thumbnail, like what I do is I take a physical chessboard and like I just like take a picture of the board, but like I move one piece and that's it. Like, so on like the first video, it's just like, we'll say, I'll play like A1 and take a picture, and then I'll put it back. And on the second day, I'll play B2, and on the third day, C3, and then like on the fourth day, D3, and so on and so forth. I was just like, whatever. And then I like make all the pieces move like once. And then like after that, it just like either restarts or just like does something else. I don't know. That's just like, it's chess, Why do you need all these fucking AI generated fucking, what is Hikaru like shooting lasers out of his eyes have anything to do with chess? What does Godzilla have anything to do with chess? What does Superman have to do with chess? What does Bleach have to do with chess? It's just like, oh, well, you need people to, like, click on it. And then they, like, get in there, and it's just, like, it's the exact same thing that I was doing originally, It's like some of the videos that I posted in the past, where I did, like, what I was doing puzzles to start, warm up, and then I was playing, like, 10-minute rapid games, and then we go over, like, the engine review and analysis afterwards, when I was, like, paying for premium. I think if I had premium at the time. I don't remember. I might have lost it. Anyway, and it's just, like, we post some videos never went anywhere. And, like, I wasn't sure if it was just because, like, I'm just, like, not good enough at chess, not good enough at commentary, not good enough at explaining, drawing arrows, like, I'm just, like, not someone that people want to hang out with, or maybe I've got a crummy attitude, or just, like, a depressing aura about me. Maybe it's because, like, I talk in a flat, monotone voice sometimes. Maybe it just had to do with the thumbnails. Maybe it had to do with, like, just like the algorithm. Who fucking knows? The past isn't the past, darling. Yeah. And, like, lately I've been, like, only been, like, screen recording, because, like, right now the phone's the only source of, like, internet that I've got. Don't have Wi-Fi anymore, so I can't use the computer. My computer was, like, better for, like, drawing arrows and stuff like that. It was especially helpful for, like, drawing arrows and stuff like that. And, like, the game with you was pretty helpful, too, to go over things just like, oh, like, I did this, should have done this, tried that, but this was better. Computer didn't see that. That was brilliant. But, like, honestly, the most important thing to me was just, like, at the end of the game, it was just like, oh, you're playing, like, you're 1200, but you're playing at, like, 2100. And I'm like, oh my god, look at me, how good I am. And then, like, an AI engine would come out afterwards and just like, yeah, that doesn't really mean anything. Like, the position plays itself. And it's just like, well, thank you for shitting in my mouth. But, like, honestly, good job on the kid, He went from, like, I don't know, like 100 subscribers to like 1,000 in like a week. Good for him, Like, I don't want to, like, put down other people that are just, like, more successful or doing better than I am. And, like, sometimes I tell myself, well, first of all, if that's not even the life that you want to live, you don't want to be, like, someone that makes, like, videos and thumbnails and stupid faces and, has to do stupid chess challenges like, oh, you have to sacrifice your queen on, like, move 3 or you have to forfeit type of thing, Just like, I don't even like chess 960, Can barely just play chess properly. I played some of the variants and they were interesting. Didn't really like them a whole lot and would rather watch someone else play them, to be honest with you. Like, I thought they were cool, but, like, not enough to, like, continue playing them, apparently. Like, the type of person that I am is just, like, I don't know. I do multiple different things. I do piano, I do bad piano, I do bad chess. Shouldn't put bad in front of things, it's just like, whatever. But, like, I'm being, I don't know, realistic. It's just like, I don't know. I guess because, like, I hate myself, I sort of expect everybody else to hate me too. Other people, it's not like I can't stand just, like, being myself. Why would I think that other people just want to hang out with me type of thing? Just, like, negative, pessimistic attitude and just, like, cloud of depression and whatever. But, like, if I look at some of these people, and it's just like, if that's not the life that I want to live in the first place, why would I try to, like, copy or replicate what they're doing? I guess once upon a time I thought that, like, people might like me, want to hang out with me, want to spend time with me, But, like, never really happened, so it sort of just, like, made me think that maybe they don't, And that's okay. Like, I'm not looking for sympathy or anything. I'm not saying that, like, oh, you need to support small independent creators. I'm gonna guilt trip you because you're not, like, looking at my, like, terribly made video that's completely disinteresting. think that's pretty much all I have to say about the subject. I hope that you're doing better in life than I am. Cheers.